Regardless of what you do, you deserve to feel beautiful. That means getting to be present, being in the moment, and not having to worry about what's going on with the makeup you put on for the day.
Indiana's super team is making headlines. Lexi Hull breaks her silence. Is she excited about playing alongside Caitlin Clark and the stacked roster? Or will her words expose a fracture, threatening their championship hopes? Fans are stunned by her honest opinion. Find out the truth now. Lexi Hull established herself as a valuable contributor last season, known for her hustle, defensive intensity, and three-point shooting. But with so much new talent coming in, there's a natural curiosity about how the coaching staff will configure the rotation and how playing time will be distributed. Will she continue to be a starter? Will she primarily come off the bench? Will she be asked to take on a different role, perhaps focusing more on defense or three-point shooting? These are all questions that Lexi Hull is likely pondering as she processes the news of the new signings. She understands that the goal is to win a championship, and she's willing to do whatever it takes to contribute to that goal. But she also wants to make sure that she's maximizing her potential and playing to her strengths. We may not know the exact details of her immediate reaction, but knowing Lexi's work ethic and team-first mentality, it's safe to assume that she welcomed the new additions and looked forward to the opportunity to compete alongside them. She also knew her mum had been talking about Bonner, who stated, "It's the best feeling to be on the same team and not having to guard her." Caitlin Clark's arrival in Indiana has undoubtedly transformed the Fever organization. She's not just a talented basketball player, she's a cultural phenomenon who has captured the attention of the entire nation. But beyond the media hype and the increased ticket sales, what's the real impact of Caitlin Clark on the Fever's team dynamic and Lexi Hull specifically? From everything we've seen and heard, Lexi Hull wholeheartedly embraces Clark's leadership and recognizes the positive impact she has on the entire team. Clark is a natural leader who leads by example, both on and off the court. She's always the first one in the gym and the last one to leave, and she sets a high standard for her teammates to follow. Her competitiveness is infectious, and she pushes everyone around her to be better. But it's not just her work ethic and competitiveness that makes Clark such a valuable leader. It's also her basketball IQ and her ability to make those around her better. Her court vision is exceptional, and she has an uncanny ability to find open teammates for easy scoring opportunities. Before we move on, make sure to like and subscribe for all the updates you need about the WNBA world. Let's continue. Lexi Hull stands to benefit greatly from playing alongside Clark. Hull is a skilled three-point shooter with a knack for getting open. Clark's ability to create open looks for her teammates will undoubtedly lead to more scoring opportunities for Hull. Clark elevates the team because her passion, ability, and dedication make others want to play better for her. This is where it gets interesting. It's not just about on-court performance, it's about the human element. The bond between Caitlin Clark and Lexi Hull seems genuinely strong. Clark's hilarious birthday tribute to Lexi that went viral. That kind of camaraderie, that genuine affection, it matters. Think about it. When you trust your teammates, when you genuinely like them, you're more willing to make that extra pass, to dive for that loose ball, to have each other's backs when things get tough. You're more willing to sacrifice for the good of the team. And Clark and Hull seem to have that kind of connection. They seem to genuinely enjoy playing together, and that could be a huge advantage for the Fever. They have been teammates for 3 years, and they have been supporting each other. Those personal relationships make it easier to support one another on the court. If you are down, you can pick your teammate up, and vice versa. When a team is truly bonded, they also play better together. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room. Is Indiana building a super team? And how does Lexi feel about that label? This is where we must do a little reading between the lines because players rarely say, "Yeah, we're a super team." It's just not something you hear. But you can bet Lexi is aware of the hype. She sees the articles, she hears the chatter on social media, everyone's talking about it. Does she think it's fair? Does she welcome the challenge? Does she think the super team label adds extra pressure? All of that has got to be going through her head. Lexi's probably focused on what she can control, her own game, her role on the team, and bringing her A game every night. She's not going to get caught up in the hype or the pressure. She's just going to focus on being the best player she can be and helping the team win. That's the kind of mentality needed to succeed in this league. This is a crucial point. With all these new players coming in, Bonner, Howard, Coulson, how does Lexi Hull see her role evolving? Last year she was a key player, starting games and guarding some of the toughest players in the league. But now with all this new talent, things are going to change. Is she going to be a starter? A key role player off the bench? Will she need to adapt her game? The answer is probably yes to all the above. She's going to have to be flexible. She's going to have to be willing to embrace whatever role the coaching staff asks her to play. We're seeing her go up against the league's toughest players. She's known for her hustle, her defense, and her three-point shooting. Now with Bonner on the team, maybe she can focus on her offensive game. At the same time, the Fever surprised Hull by drafting her. She's out to prove them right. The influx of talent might mean fewer minutes, but it could also mean more opportunities to shine in specific situations. New players, big expectations, lots of pressure. How does all this impact team chemistry? This is always a delicate balance. Chemistry isn't something you can force, it must develop organically, and from what we've seen so far, the Fever seems to have a good foundation. The bond between Clark and Hull is a great starting point. But it's going to take work to build that chemistry with the new additions. Natasha Howard brings veteran leadership. Sydney Coulson is a proven winner. DeWanna Bonner wants to help the Fever get back to championship contention. These are all positive signs, but it's up to the coaching staff and the players themselves to make it all mesh. The coaches need to create an environment where everyone feels valued and respected, and the players need to be willing to communicate, to listen to each other, and to put the team first. It's not always easy, but it's essential for success. And if the Fever can build that strong team chemistry, they're going to be a very dangerous team to play against. It takes time to build chemistry, but with the Fever doing so, it shows that they can come together to reach a championship level. Let's dive into the murky, fascinating world of team chemistry. On paper, the Indiana Fever looks incredible. We've got Caitlin Clark, a generational talent, Lexi Hull, the defensive glue, and DeWanna Bonner, Natasha Howard, and Sydney Coulson. It's like someone went on a WNBA all-star shopping spree. But basketball isn't played on paper, it's on the court. And the question is, how do all these incredible individual talents gel into a cohesive, unstoppable team? Let's be honest, adding so many new personalities is a risk. Everyone has their own playing style, their own habits, and their way of communicating. Think of it like this. You're baking a cake. You've got amazing ingredients, top shelf flour, the best vanilla, and farm fresh eggs. But if you don't mix them in the right proportions, if you overbake them, or if you try to rush the process, you're going to end up with a disaster. Team chemistry is the same. You need the right mix of personalities, you need strong leadership to guide the process, and you need time and patience for the whole thing to come together. With the right leadership, the chemistry on the team will be great. So, DeWanna Bonner and Natasha Howard are WNBA legends. They bring years of experience, championships, and all-star appearances. But Lexi Hull has one thing they don't. She knows Indiana Fever. She knows the coaching staff, the system, and the culture of the team. And that makes her uniquely positioned to be a mentor to the new players, especially the younger ones, or those who haven't played in Indiana before. It's not about teaching DeWanna Bonner how to play basketball, she already knows. It's about helping her understand the Fever's specific playbook, introducing her to the team's traditions, about making her feel welcome and integrated into the family. Hull understands how special the team is and is ready to guide. And let's not forget to share what the fans are like. She can lead by example and provide support and guidance. The Fever's fan base is on fire right now. Ticket sales are through the roof, social media is buzzing, and everyone's talking about this potential super team. It's hard not to be excited. The Fever hasn't been relevant in years, and now suddenly, they're the hottest ticket in town. But there's also a bit of trepidation. Some fans are worried that the pressure is going to be too much. They're afraid that if the Fever doesn't win a championship immediately, it'll be considered a failure. Others are concerned that the new additions might overshadow some existing players, and others are concerned about how it could impact the rest of the WNBA. Are super teams good for the league? Are they going to create an unfair playing field? Are they going to discourage small market teams? All of these are valid questions. Ultimately, the fans just want to see the Fever succeed. They want to see exciting basketball, they want to see their team compete, and they want to be proud to wear that Fever jersey. Also, with the team's popularity, the fans are ready to root for the Fever. They trust that the coaches will lead them to the championship and the players will be better. Let's not sugarcoat it. The Indiana Fever are walking into a pressure cooker. When you assemble a team with this talent, the expectations are going to be astronomical. Everyone's going to be watching, every game's going to be scrutinised, and every loss is going to be dissected. The players are going to have to learn to deal with the pressure of being hunted rather than the hunter. They're going to have to learn to block out the noise, to stay focused on their goals, and to trust in each other. And it's not just the players, the coaching staff is going to be under immense pressure as well. They're going to have to figure out how to manage all these different personalities, how to create a cohesive system, and how to make sure everyone is on the same page. With all the attention and fame, there will be more and more people watching, making the pressure even more immense. The pressure is going to be intense, but it's also an opportunity. It's an opportunity for the Fever to rise to the occasion, to prove that they're worthy of all the hype, and to create something truly special. After all, it will take time to deal with the pressure, but they can do it. Alright, Fever fans, let's talk about something cool that Lexi Hull is doing this off-season, playing in the Unrivaled League. Now, for those of you who haven't heard of it, Unrivaled is a brand new 3-on-3 women's basketball league co-founded by WNBA superstars Breanna Stewart and Nafisa Collier. And get this, Lexi Hull is part of the inaugural season. She's the first Fever player to sign up with Unrivaled. The league tips off in mid-January and it will be based in Miami. One of the most compelling reasons the league was made was to provide the WNBA's best opportunity to engage with each other. According to Hull, the Unrivaled League is a perfect way to hear things you don't necessarily hear. This is due to building relationships with players and discussing what it's like to play with different teams. What's interesting is that this isn't just some random exhibition league. Unrivaled has a multi-year media rights deal with TNT. That means these games are going to be broadcast to a national audience, giving these players even more exposure. And the games will suit her because she has experience playing 3-on-3 with USA Basketball. Playing 3-on-3, the players tag in and out often while seeking mismatches. Look, making the playoffs is great, it is. It's a sign that you're one of the top teams in the league, that you've had a successful regular season, and that you're capable of competing at a high level. But let's be real, for a team with the talent and potential of this year's Indiana Fever, just making the playoffs isn't enough. The goal must be to win a playoff game, to advance to the next round, and to make a serious run at the WNBA championship. Making the playoffs is one step, but it's what happens after that really matters. It's about proving that you can perform under pressure, that you can win on the road, and that you can beat the best teams in the league when it matters most. That's got to be the mindset for Lexi Hull and every player on this Fever team. They can't be content with just getting there. They must be hungry for more. They must want to win, to compete, and to make a statement. Only then can they achieve their goal and win a championship. You know, Lexi Hull has all the tools to be a special player in this league. She's got the size, the athleticism, the shooting ability, and the defensive intensity. We can all see that. The next step for her is to improve. It's about finding that rhythm, about finding that confidence, and about being able to perform at a high level consistently. It is about staying locked in mentally, about preparing properly, and about having the self-belief that she can compete with the best players in the world. It is to not be complacent after a good game or to get discouraged after a bad one. It's about learning from her mistakes, adjusting, and coming back stronger every single time she steps on the court. So Fever fans, what do you think? Is the chemistry between Caitlin, Lexi, and the rest of the team going to be the key to success? How do you see Lexi's role evolving this season? Let me know your predictions in the comments below. And if you enjoy this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more Fever content.